Hey, so welcome to this lesson. And this is going to be a really, really important one because structure in a week is fundamental to how you succeed moving forward. It really, really is. Without structure in the week, it becomes very difficult because we're second guessing everything. Nothing seems to flow. This is going to help you eliminate stress and really move forward with your health and fitness goals and whatever goal you've got in life, to be quite honest. With more structure, you can definitely push towards it much easier, much less stress related. So success doesn't come from willpower, believe it or not. I think people feel that they need to have willpower in order to be successful, but that's not the case. It comes from structure. So what we're going to look at here is building a weekly routine that's going to balance your health, fitness, nutrition, and your life as well, because we need to have a life as well as all of this. So why does structure matter first and foremost? Well, firstly, it reduces decision fatigue, stress, anything related to that. So it frees up plenty of mental energy for what's going to matter most in life. So no more daily dilemmas, no more worrying about what to have for lunch. You know everything. Everything's set in place and structured so you can really move through the week seamlessly. It's going to build consistency, so small actions add up when repeated consistently. So this structure that we're going to talk about now is going to help cement your daily habits, and when you do that consistently, that is when you can start changing your life. Plans for real life as well. So we're not just looking for perfect weeks. In fact, I don't want you to strive for a perfect week because it doesn't exist. The perfect week is not going to exist. We want to include flexibility. We want to be prepared for any of life's surprises, anything that crops up, because that is life. And no matter how much you want to have perfect weeks, week after week, it ain't going to happen. Things are going to happen, and we want to need to be in a good mindset that we can work around that. And it's going to create far more freedom. Ironically, you would think having structure in place is just going to create rigidity and nothing else. It gives you freedom. Winging it rarely leads to progress. When you wing it, you get stressed and you get nothing done, essentially. Structure really does create freedom. And that's what we're going to really try and work on here, because who doesn't want to have more freedom? So big picture weekly planning first and foremost. So this is what I want you to think about when you're planning your week. This is the structure we're going to look at. So first up, we're going to start with the non-negotiables. So work is obviously going to be in there. Kids, if you've got kids, is going to be in there. Any appointments you've got in there. These need to go into your schedule. These need to go into your calendar as non-negotiables. So whether you're picking up the kids from school or you've got a work meeting at a certain day, these need to go in there, or you've got a dentist appointment. They need to be in there. So that's the first thing. These are going to form your foundation moving forward. Then I want you to add in your workouts, your activity, your fitness sessions. So treat these like important meetings. If you're trying to improve your health and fitness, they need to be classified as important appointments during the course of the week. So gym workouts, put them in there. Make sure you've got if you're going for a run, put it in there. I know it sounds silly, but structure everything. It makes your week so much easier. Block out the specific times. Maybe you're going for a walk with a friend after work. Block it out in your calendar. Get it in there. Give yourself structure. Give yourself that mental clarity. When it comes to your food, I want you to plan accordingly. So we're going to schedule your shopping trips, for example. So if you're going to do a big shop, book it into your schedule. Thursday night, book it in, okay? Prep your meals. Now, you don't have to do it all in one go. You can do it the night before, but prep your meals and prep key meals. So you could batch cook if you're cooking for, like, I don't know, spaghetti bolognese or something in the evening. You could make 2 or 3 days worth of spaghetti bolognese, and then it's there in the freezer, boom, ready to go. Stress eliminated. If you're not doing that and you want to kind of have family time, cook it as a family together in the evening, by all means do it, but know what you're having. Have like a recipe card on the side, or know in advance what meal you're going to be making. Don't just wing it on the spot, because that's what leads to things like takeaways, taking the kids to McDonald's, whatever. So we want to try and avoid that. Essentially, we want to try and reduce the decisions you make on a daily basis. We want to have it as automated as possible whilst still living life to a certain extent as well, because we need to live life as well, right? Then I want you to pencil in the rest of the things in the week. So rest days are going to be penciled in. Definitely. These aren't non-negotiable. This is a non-negotiable. Sorry, you want to have rest days. You don't want to be working out every single day. Now, a rest day could be going for a walk. It could be going for a cycle. It could be going for a swim. That could be on a rest day. But I want you to have a day where you're not specifically planning doing a full-on workout or a full-on run or something that's an intense form of exercise. It can be steady exercise, casual exercise, but I definitely want you to have at least 2 rest days in your week. You can have active rest days, like I said, but you need to have 2 non-impactful in terms of exercise or fitness. You need to have 2 rest days in there. And also I want you to plan in your social life as well. So this is going to counting to all the other things I want you to plan into your week, social life needs to go there. So whether or not this is going to the cinema, going out for drinks, going for a meal, balance is going to be key to sustainability. So we need to make sure that we have that in there, all the social stuff as well as the rest. So we'll go through that very quickly. Non-negotiables are in there, fitness sessions are in there, food strategies in there, penciling in your rest days, and we're penciling in your social life as well. And if anything crops up along the way, we can work around it. So a little bit more depth about your workouts right now. So this is how I want you to plan your workouts in the week. You're going to block it like meetings like we just spoke about. They're going to be non-negotiable appointments with yourself. We're going to be realistic with it. So schedule when you can actually do them. Don't put 5 a.m. if you're not a morning person. You know, it's not going to happen initially. Yes, you might be able to work in towards it eventually, but if we're trying to create the least resistance here, put it into a time that you can do it. Lunchtime, you might be able to fit a workout in. After work, you might be able to get one in, depending on your circumstances. So have a little think about how you can do that. Then I want you to mix it up. I don't want you to just do the same stuff all the time, because that can lead to you being bored. And when you're bored, you'll fall out of the habit and fall out of the love of it. So we want to mix it up. It could be a couple of strength workouts at home or in the gym. It could be doing a cardio session at the gym, or doing a fitness class, kettlebell, Zumba, something like that. Could be doing yoga, Pilates. Mix it up, have a good balance of health and fitness and well-being. And then we're looking for a minimum of 3 to 5 sessions per week. It needs to be a minimum of 3. If you're serious about changing your health and fitness in your life, you need to have a minimum of 3 workouts per week. 5 to 6 will be maximum. You don't want to be going any more than 6 really. You need to have that rest time, but I'd recommend 5 is going to be the magic number if you've got the time that allows it. But again, we've got to be realistic, and it's got to be something that's going to work for you. So it needs to fit your life, not the other way around. So we want to be honest about when you'll have the most energy to do a workout, or when you've got the most free time to do a workout. Then we're going to look at structuring your nutrition. So the first thing is we've got to plan ahead. Even rough planning and rough guides can help with this. So map out your week's meals on a Sunday. So you don't have to prep them on a Sunday. Just get it mapped out on a Sunday, and that's going to help give you structure throughout the course of the week. You'll shop smarter and you'll waste less food doing it this way, which again is only going to benefit you. We're going to nail the anchor points as well. So focus on consistent breakfast and dinner routines. They create stability and they build habits around these daily touch points. Now, something I would probably suggest is you have a consistent breakfast, a consistent lunchtime, because we can control those 2 variables. And then dinner time, say it's with the family or you're eating out, that can be a bit more relaxed. That's how I would look at it. So breakfast and lunch is going to be structured. Dinner time can be a bit more relaxed. However, you can still be in control of the choices you make in the evening. Simplify your choices. So choose 2 to 3 go-to lunches, 2 to 3 go-to snacks, 2 to 3 breakfast choices, just again to eliminate kind of the amount of decisions you're making, or reduce the amount of decisions you're making each and every single day. And then as they will be like in your head and you've planned them, they're going to be much healthier choices, and healthier defaults make nutrition much easier. And then you can batch cook as well. So you can prep ingredients or full meals in advance. You can freeze them. You can even just plan it a couple of hours before and have it ready on the side. Sunday prep can really set your whole week. So again, I don't want you to sit there and prep salads all week on a Sunday. Just write down a plan, and you can prep them the night before. That's what I generally do. I prep everything the night before, and then it's kind of fresh and it's ready to go, and it's already in my mindset. And yeah, it just really helps me move forward with my nutrition. So we also need social life. Social life is very important. We're always about the balance here. So what we need to look at is having social life without coming off the rails. Now, first up, we're going to plan social events, okay? Schedule them in. Yes, there might be some off the cuff things going on. That's cool. But I want you to try and plan in as much as you possibly can. So planning your social events, they're part of life. They're not exceptions, okay? What we're going to look at then is a strategy for the event. So if you're going out for a meal in the evening, have lighter meals earlier in the day, or drink water before you go out for a meal, or make sure you're not going to the meal starving, hungry, and have a healthy snack before you go. And when you're at your meal, you can have a look at maybe having higher protein, slightly less carbohydrates, those types of things. Really, really useful. Maintain balance with this, so don't turn one night into a weekend off track. I feel a lot of the time people feel if they have one day off track, the floodgates open and they just go for it and they have a whole weekend. It could be 3 days eventually that they're off track, off plan, and then the calories they consume is excessive, and then they're wondering why Monday they're not in a good kind of mental and physical state. So maintain balance. Go and enjoy your social events, but also make sure you are staying on track, keeping one eye on the ball, because you're trying to change something about your health and fitness and your actual life here. And then bounce back plans. So just return to basics the next day. If you go out for a meal and maybe you've had a couple of extra wines you weren't planning on, or you had a pizza or a takeaway or something like that, just get back to basics the next day. Do not panic about it. Definitely don't feel guilty about it. Just get back to normal the next day. Don't reduce your calories. Back to normal. Keep consistent. 80-20 is the principle I always use. 80% of the time we're on it, 20% we can relax and chill, and that's going to really propel you forward in a good state to really achieve what you want to achieve. Then we want to plan in our rest and recovery. So we need to schedule rest days. They're essential. It's not lazy. Your body actually gets stronger, repairs itself, you get fitter, you lose body fat as you recover. Midweek check-ins with yourself. So ask yourself, how's my energy? What's working? What isn't? Then plan accordingly moving forward. A bit of reflection at the end of the week. So note how things went well or what went well. Note any challenges and then adjust accordingly the week after to try and overcome those challenges. And then Sunday's a good chance to reset, so prepare for the week ahead and set your intentions and set your priorities for the following week. So here's a little structural template we're going to look at very quickly. So on a Monday, it could be a strength workout and meal prep. Tuesday, it could be cardio workout and a work lunch out. Wednesday, it could be a rest day and you give yourself a midweek check-in. Thursday, it could be a strength workout and you've gone out for dinner in the evening. Friday, it could be a quick hit workout session because you're short on time and you get your food shopping, the big food shop. Saturday could be an active recovery day, so going for a walk or a cycle or a hike, and family time. Book that in as well. And then Sunday's going to be a bit of meal prep and a weekly reset to think about your week that's just gone and how you can plan moving forward. And we want to look at tracking progress. So give yourself 1 to 2 check-ins per week, personal check-ins yourself. So briefly assess how you're doing to keep you on track. It's going to prevent small issues growing into bigger issues. 80% is the consistency target we're talking about, so 80-20, aim for adherence, but not looking for perfection because perfection just cannot be sustained. 15 minutes of planning time is all you need each week. Small investments are going to lead to big returns, and then a 4-week evaluation of how you're doing, so give your structure a full month's go before making any major changes with it. A couple of common challenges you will come across during your week, your month, your year. Travel disruptions. So if you have got holidays or going away or travels coming up with work, have a simplified travel template. So a travel plan for your food, a travel plan for exercise. Now, I don't want you, when you go on holiday, I don't want you to feel you need to be on it all the time. But again, we're not trying to undo all the progress. We're just trying to keep half an eye on the ball. So whether that's you being active, whether or not that's having more protein at your meals on holiday, these types of things. Just having a plan in your head will make a world of difference. You might get ill during the year as well, so you might have an illness setback, so have a recovery protocol ready. So whether or not that's you're a bit kinder to yourself in the gym, whether or not you just get a few more walks in, whether you really up your water intake during that time, have a little plan in place. When things get busy even, develop a kind of a plan for that as well. So if the week's gone absolutely crazy in terms of things going on, then just try and figure out a way around it. Don't panic. This is something I say to clients all the time, is do not panic. Just think logically, how can I work around this to do as much as I can in my control? Certain things will be out of your control what you can. And then motivational dips will happen as well. So when this happens, this structure is going to carry you through it. Even when you're unmotivated or demotivated is the word I'm looking for, this structure will carry you through those dips. You'll just be on autopilot. You can work through it. Then motivation will reappear again a week or two down the line. And here's a few final thoughts with this. So keep adjusting this plan. The plan isn't going to be perfect initially. Keep adjusting it until it fits your life really, really well. Structure is going to give you freedom. It's ironic that people think it's restrictive. It's not. It's going to give you freedom, and aim for weeks that are going to be repeatable, not perfect weeks. The perfect week is going to be very hard to repeat. So we're aiming for weeks that are repeatable. Consistency with that is going to be amazing. If you have 2 perfect weeks in a row, you're more than likely going to crash and burn in week 3. If you have an 80% good week, week after week, you can do it up to 6, 12 months, 6 months, 12 months, 5 years, So that's how we're looking for it. The best structure is the one that you can maintain. It should support you. It shouldn't be stressful. So tweak anything as and when required. So your challenge today is to plan your upcoming week using this structure, please. I want you to post it in the groups. I want you to share it with me. I want you to give feedback, as much feedback as possible in regards to this, but I want you to plan your upcoming week or next week as much as you possibly can. Remember, small steps are going to lead to massive changes. I say this all the time, but your future self is going to thank you a lot for doing this. So yeah, that is about structure. Hopefully this has given you a bit of an insight as to how you can structure your week way better. Any questions at all, you know where to find me, but have a good one and I'll speak to you soon.